His blog, Confessions of an Adoptive Parent, reaches more than 100,000 people around the globe. Mike Berry joins me to talk about the joys and challenges of adoption and foster care. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Well, you are speaking from experience. You have adopted 8 children. You have fostered 23. What has that journey been like?
Well, it's been an adventure. That would be the understatement. It has been something that if you go back 20 years ago or more, I never would have envisioned it. But now, sitting here with you, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, you were really not even into it, right? It's something your wife wanted to do, and you were like, what?
That's true, yeah. Yeah.
So what changed?
Well, you know, the short answer there would be that the Holy Spirit moved my heart, changed my heart, you know, that God changed my heart. But I think the longer story there is that we were surrounded by people who cared for us and invested in us. And back in that day, I was young, I was naive, I was selfish. And I really didn't understand, you know, that there was a bigger picture outside of myself. And so, you know, when Kristen introduced the idea of adoption to me, you know, the story goes that I resisted, because I did. And it wasn't because I was against adoption, it was because I just didn't understand it. I didn't grow up with it. It wasn't the storyline of my family. So one of the things that Kristen did was she leaned into some advice that she was given, and that was, you know, just pray and hope and wait. And at the same time as she was doing that, people were intersecting into my life who were on the adoption journey and who had chosen adoption as their storyline, and that just over a couple of year period changed my heart. And when that baby girl was placed in my arms in April 2002, that was it. Yeah, I never resisted again.
And you know, we go on these journeys with God sometimes, or these challenges before us, still naively. Even when we think we counted the cost and we prepared ourselves, it has its unexpected challenges. So tell me about kind of realizing really what you've gotten yourself into.
Well, we realized really quick that this was not the normal parenting journey. You know, we began with a private adoption in 2002. For a couple of years, everything was great. You know, she was a normal baby girl, slept through the night at 3 months. But then we began fostering, and that's where we were introduced to, you know, some of the traumas that children go through. Everything from bouncing from foster home to foster home, to being drug and alcohol exposed at birth, to going through being in environments where abuse was happening or neglect was happening, and we really didn't understand how those traumas manifest themselves through a child. And that's where it became very interesting and very challenging, because we were ill-equipped. We both grew up in traditional households, so we thought, well, the way we were raised traditionally and the way our children parented us traditionally is how we need to parent. And anybody who's on the foster adoptive journey knows really quick that traditional parenting methods do not work when you're parenting children from places of trauma.
And you know, you had such a supportive community as well, and you intentionally reached out, especially to other people on that same journey. How key is it to have people who kind of get what you're going through?
Oh, it's critical. In fact, in a lot of our resources that we produce for foster adoptive parents, we say, that's one of the first things we say, is you need a support system. You need to surround yourself with people who understand what you're going through, who get it. And 9 times out of 10, those are fellow foster and adoptive parents. You know,
people
it's
can
critical.
Be judgmental, right? Like they can
completely,
be, why is your child behaving like that? You're a bad parent. All these judgments.
Yes. We'll look at it this way: the vast majority of the world does not understand. You know, you talk to somebody on the street and say, have you ever heard of adoption or foster care? And they'll say, yes, I have. But most people don't understand either why a person would choose to adopt or foster, or what the ins and outs of foster care and adoption are. And so, yeah, we dealt with judgment. We dealt with criticism. Unfortunately, we dealt with that in our own church community, and they didn't mean it. It wasn't like they meant to do that. It's just that there's a big misunderstanding. So that's why people who get it, who are non-judgmental, who can listen to, you know, one of the important things is who can listen to everything you're going through, all the trials you're going through with your kiddos, and love you and still love your kid is critical. And those are the people that we have in our inner circle.
You're so blessed to have that. Well, we're going to continue this conversation. We talked about kids with trauma and the effect that that has. We're going to talk about what that looks like and how you can help heal it.